What is happening, guys? Mathematics is back again. You know where we are, so let's get into it. So, guys, just a quick one for you. Been wearing this fragrance for a few days now. I'm trying to do a bit of a comparison in my own mind in respect of this fragrance, which is none other than Mont Blanc Explorer. This one, guys, is a 60ml bottle. I've done a brief review on it before because I had a decant, but this is a 60ml bottle I managed to get probably on sale. I think Christmas sale for around about £50. Probably get it cheaper online, guys, but I've wanted to give it a go. And this is just really my thoughts on it. Now, I've done a little bit of a comparison in my mind between this, the original Vibrant Leather, not the new version, which has been watered down. Yes, definitely the original one. You can actually smell it when you just even pull the cap away. And obviously, a little bit of a comparison to Office for Men from German Fragrance. So, guys, in respect of this particular fragrance, the note breakdown for this, it says that it is a bergamot in the top. We have some pink pepper with, I believe it's saying that it's got some clary sage. It's got some vetiver in the mids with some leather, and in the base then we're going to get that patchouli with, I believe it's some form of woodsy note, and it's saying it's definitely got some ambroxan in the base. Now, for me, guys, this fragrance on my skin doesn't really seem to last that long. And when I say it doesn't last long, it's not that it doesn't last long in respect of a skin scent, but it doesn't really project as I would expect this type of fragrance to project. The opening for me on this one, and again, this is the bottle's quite impressive, but obviously, I mean, the aesthetics is one thing. When it comes down to actually the juice, the spray is quite nice, it's quite sharp. In comparison, say for instance, to the Vibrant Leather, I don't get that type of opening in respect of a sharp lemon note or anything along those lines. This seems to be slightly more mature, I'd say, than that version from Zara. Obviously, it's a different type of house, but at the same time, I seem to get more of a mellow, slightly more, not necessarily aquatic, but borderline aquatic type of birch and bergamot type of note. It doesn't really seem as strong on the birch compared to, say for instance, Creed, or even potentially even this one. It seems to be slightly more relaxed, slightly more, how could I say, leathery in a sense. And then when the dry down kicks in, I get along the lines of that type of ambroxan, slightly more along the lines of this, how could I say, bergamot, ambroxan, maybe vetiver in there. But it doesn't really, to me, guys, it doesn't really stand out. That's really my issue with this one. It's a nice fragrance. It's not bad for what it is. If you're into the Creed type of Aventus vibe, this is not a bad pickup at all because it's relatively cheap for what it is. 60 mils. You could probably get this a lot cheaper. And there's a few obviously travel versions that they have as well. But for what it is, guys, it's interesting. It's interesting, but it doesn't scream, this is something I have to have. It's just a so-so fragrance. On my skin, I wasn't really getting more than probably around about 2 hours before it really started to die down and become a skin scent. It didn't really project for me as well as, say, for instance, this one, which is a completely different house, but it seemed to project more on my skin, this version of Vibrant Leather, and this, obviously, latest version of Mont Blanc. It just smells, if you imagine, how can I imagine it? If you imagine, say, the dry down of, not necessarily, I couldn't even necessarily say Aventus because it's nowhere near that. The complexity is not there. It's not smoky. It's not got that level of complexity in sillage compared to other fragrances for me. And it does smell, even though it's along that type of Aventus vibe, it does smell slightly linear to me. It doesn't really shout out to me. I think in the dry down, I get a lot of bergamot, I get a little bit of ambroxan, and slightly more vetiver for me. But it doesn't project. It's not really beast mode, I would say. It's fine. It's a cheapie. It's not bad, but I don't think it's groundbreaking. I don't think there's anything particularly new. And on my skin, I didn't really get any. I've not had any compliments at all wearing this, and I don't really think it's something that I would probably purchase again unless I was getting a really cheap bottle for whatever reason. But that's it, guys. I thought I'd give it a go. In comparison, say for instance to Office for Men, just comparing the two. There's obviously, this one is slightly fruitier in the opening. There's an ambroxan vibe throughout on this one, and that's where I think the longevity comes from. That ambroxan note is quite prominent, and it's slightly chemical type of ambroxan that I'm smelling on this one, more so than the other version, say for instance Vibrant Leather or obviously Mont Blanc. Vibrant Leather in comparison as well. This one opens slightly more with a lemony type of vibe. birch. I don't know if there's ambroxy necessarily reported to be in this, but I'm sure there is. Yeah, this one's slightly more lemony. This one's slightly stronger, slightly alcoholic to some extent in the opening, but it's slightly stronger when it comes to the birch. And again, that lemony type of vibe pushes it more in the sort of, how could I say, it stands out a lot more to me for what it is. This one just seems a little bit safe, to be honest, guys. I'm struggling to really find how I could describe it, because it doesn't really have anything that really projects or stands out to me. It just smells like it's a pleasant, inoffensive attempt at or inspired version of the type of Aventus type of smell, compared to Aventus. When I've done reviews on that before, that one, as everybody knows what it's about, but without comparing, if between all three of them, guys, if I was going to compare all three of these fragrances, for instance, we have Mont Blanc, Zara Vibrant Leather, and we have Office for Men, this would actually become the lowest on the list, unfortunately, for me. And that's just me being honest. It's nice, it's pleasant. I'd probably give this a 3 out of 5. Value for money, probably maybe 4 out of 5. But for what you're getting on, guys, unless somebody's particularly after this one, unless someone is maybe sort of after an offensive type of fragrance, it's just a so-so fragrance. I would personally find some other alternative out there. I wouldn't necessarily spend more than, say, about £50 on this one, and I probably won't be purchasing this one again. It's okay for what it is, but I'd expect a little bit more from the house, given what Mont Blanc are capable of doing. Unfortunately for me, it just seems a little bit safe, and it doesn't really project, in my opinion, on my skin anyway, to make me think why I'm wearing the fragrance today, unfortunately. So I don't really know where to go with this one, guys. Hopefully that's not going to be dragging it out too long. But by all means, let me know your thoughts. Do you have this one in your collection? Some people are saying that they like it. Maybe on your skin, it does really project a lot more. But for me and my skin, it just wasn't projecting. I wasn't getting in real longevity. And it smelled very linear to me in the dry down stages. I just got maybe, again, slight of leather and leather vetiver sort of note. That's all that came to me. Bergamot is there, maybe a pinch of ambroxan, and that is it. Can't really say much more about that one. In comparison to the other two, I prefer the other two a lot more than this one, but this is my collection nonetheless. So that was my quick review on that one, guys. That was Mont Blanc Explorer. You let me know your thoughts on that one. Have you tried it out? I do appreciate the comments, likes, and the subscriptions. The channel is growing, so by all means, guys, please do not forget to give the channel a thumbs up if it saved you some money, and equally, if you do like the videos, please share them as well. You can see that I need to still get my line up, but because it's getting to winter time, I'm just going to leave it and we'll see what happens, guys. Ciao.